I can't believe how much better I've felt after I went to Zoo Lights. Being around a number of happy people really lifted my spirits. You know, it's not necessarily the displays. I mean, the displays were pretty, but, you know, it didn't really start to hit me until, you know, a couple hours after I went. You know, I went around 6 p.m. And over the next couple hours, I feel more conscious than I have in at least 6 months. I feel more alert than I've felt in at least that long. I was in quite a funk. This past week, it was worse than ever. I did have suicidal thoughts. I'm too chicken shit to go through with any of them. But it's been hard just getting up from sleeping, you know? It's been hard just facing the day. You know, some people might think, oh, but you have 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, but it doesn't make any difference as far as this depression. In fact, in some ways, it almost makes me feel worse because it says, well, look, you should be happy. You should be happy. And I wasn't. It didn't help the way I felt. It just made me feel like, well, I should feel differently, but didn't. But it sometimes takes being in the opposite state of mind to realize just how far you've went into a previous state of mind. And man, there was a comment on my last post about Second Life. You know, the text and image post. You know, someone basically said, "Oh, go run to your safe space," you know, referencing Second Life. And I'm just like, do you know how badly that comment hurts? Man, they don't care. People like that don't care. They get their jollies off of hurting other people. You know? I'm wondering what kind of life they have. That they feel they must resort to trying to make people feel really bad. You know? But yeah, these quarantines have, as I said already, these quarantines have really, really taken their toll on me. I didn't think just going to something as simple as Zoo Lights would change how I feel that much, you know? I am really worried about what could happen on the 14th. I'm worried. I'm scared. What if Trump manages to pull some strings and has the government basically install him into another term? Not elect him, but install Trump. You know, basically install a dictator. You know, what happens if he manages to affect, you know, who the electors are? What happens if he gets, you know, in a number of important states, electors that will specifically vote for him? What happens? I am still really blown away that there are people who constantly talk about how much they love the Constitution, but have no problem with suspending the Constitution when it no longer serves them. Oh, well, if we can suspend the Constitution in order to, you know, insert Trump into the government for another 4 years, oh, let's just go for it. I thought you loved the Constitution. Those of you pushing that sort of thing, yeah, you've lost your ability to say you love the Constitution. I mean, you can say it, but you're a hypocrite. You know? Then there are some people that just because I'm even talking about this in such ways, oh, you just watch too much CNN. I don't watch CNN. I mean, on a very rare occasion, I'll look at it for a moment just to see what kind of fear-mongering they're doing. But I don't watch CNN. I don't watch cable news anymore. I'm just done with it. It's crap. Mainstream cable news is garbage. But to some of you Trump supporters, you Trump cultists, because that's what I'm going to call you, I mean, to some of you, you think that anyone who's against Trump must be just watching mainstream news. Because Trump is so wonderful. Trump is so great. Trump is a real patriot. It's like, what's wrong with you? After all the things that he's doing, since it looks like he won't win the election, you're still saying he's a patriot? You call that patriotic? Like I said in that text post, these Trumpists claiming, oh, Trump won by a landslide. Trump is a real patriot. You're acting like the Germans did towards Hitler. I'm not saying Trump is Hitler. I'm not saying Trump is an actual fascist. But the kind of cult-like support that he gets makes him look like one. Do you want to continue that? I mean, if it gets much worse, if you get much more cult-like, if you get that much more unhinged, because that's what you're becoming, so many people on the right, you're unhinged. You're speaking against the things that you normally, you're going against your principles. And if it gets much worse, I may have to choose a side. I mean, I'll be honest, I'll take socialism over a fascist dictatorship. I'm sorry, but that's just, and I don't want things to be those choices. I don't want those as the choices. And I'll take a one world government over a fascist dictatorship. You know, that the more that the Republicans and some of the right-wingers act like this, the more I'm like, yeah, bring on that 2030 plan for sustainable development. Bring it on. Bring it on. That's kind of where I've been at. But I've been kind of too chicken shit to say. That's how I feel right now. That's what this polarization is doing. You know, if you blatantly no longer care about the Constitution and you claim the left doesn't care about the Constitution, yeah, bring on the 2030 plan for sustainable development. Just bring it on. I guess I don't know what more to say, but, you know, I understand that, yes, there has been some election fraud, yes, and I'm willing to bet, and I've said before that there was election fraud in the 2016 election. And if Democrats would have pushed the way that the Republicans are now, yeah, we would have probably come to some of these same conclusions about election fraud. But this notion, oh no, Trump won by a landslide. Trump is a real patriot. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. You don't give a flying fuck about the Constitution.